Today, I am going to tell you the number one way I have found to lose clients. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about what not to do and share some experiences of my own because I've certainly been there. But I want to give you some tips and tricks to try and make sure this doesn't happen to you at all, ideally, but at least if you can feel that it's about to happen, you know some ways to help fix things. I'll tell you why I'm creating this video is because I lost a client last week. Why? Communication. It was a client who was looking for a cleaner. We work with a cleaning company and I have had so many cleaning inquiries lately. I don't know what you've been like, but it's been a good 12 months of constant cleaning inquiries because there's just not that many cleaners out there. Anyway, one of these inquiries came through and I'd sent it through to the cleaning company that I work with, who are amazing. And I had it included in a list and I booked the clean in. I had it all sorted. It was booked in. What had I not done? I hadn't confirmed the time that the cleaner was going to arrive. I hadn't given my client the cleaner's phone number and I haven't double checked or confirmed this with the client. I'd booked in the date. I'd sent that off to the client and nothing else. So the client emailed me and said, Abby, the cleaner's supposed to be arriving tomorrow, but I haven't had a phone call from the cleaner, which I didn't realize she wanted. So that's one learning for me. And I don't know what time they're coming. Ridiculous, easy, obvious mistake. So I haven't lost very many clients in my career. I've been running my business for over 18 years now, and I haven't lost many clients. In fact, the opposite is the case. We have so many long-term clients. It's really amazing. It is so pleasing. It's lovely to know that I'm doing things right, and there are so many clients out there who, in their words, can't live without us. But I have worked out what they can live without. And if you don't get this right, especially really early on when clients are less forgiving of mistakes, then you're going to lose some clients. So, Abby, get on with it. What is the number one way? And it is lack of communication. It's just the biggest issue I've had with clients. If there is a problem, it always comes down to lack of communication. It might seem like the issue is something else, but at the bottom, deep down, it's always lack of communication or just communicating incorrectly, not well, doing a bad job. I want to talk about two things today in relation to your communication with clients, what to do and how to ensure that you stay on top of things so your clients appreciate what you do and love you. The most important thing in a personal concierge business is trust. And in fact, in any service business. So if you're running a service business where you are meeting clients in person, you're going into their home or their office, you're looking after their precious things or people or pets, then trust is just so important. And you need to establish that trust up front. You need to communicate in a way that provides trust, but you also need to do what you promise. So if your website or if your communication materials or you have told them that you will communicate in a particular way at a particular time in a particular time frame. So if you say, we will respond to your email within 24 hours or expect me to call you back in the next business day, you need to do that. In fact, you need to do that even quicker, ideally, especially with your first clients. Now, that's pretty obvious. And what I've found is it's kind of easy enough to do when you're starting out, when you've got a new client or you haven't had a new client for a while. It's exciting. You're on top of things. You're on the ball. You're emailing back. You're phoning them back. It's relatively easy. What I've found is the problems come when I get too busy, when I've got too much going on, and I am not keeping on top of my emails or my phone calls, and I might miss an email, not respond quick enough, or the worst thing that happens to me when I'm busy is I just completely forget. I might have had a phone call with a client and I've written it down, but I've then gone off onto something else and I forget to even go back and look at my notes. So I'm forgetting, I'm not communicating with the client about a particular task. I'm not telling them where I'm up to. And the lack of trust starts to creep in. They start to wonder if we are the people that they can rely on to look after their house, their family, their pets. So the other thing is that you need to alleviate their pain points. So when someone is approaching you about a service that you offer, often they are quite wary. They've never done something like this before. Perhaps you're a dog walker and they've never had a dog walker before. It might be their first puppy. They just don't know what to expect. Perhaps you are going to be driving their car for them and they're just not sure if they can trust you to look after their car, to ensure that you won't get a speeding ticket or crash it or whatever it is. What you need to do is alleviate their pain points before they happen. So if you can think of all the possible questions, queries, problems that your client might have and answer all those questions up front, whether it be in a meeting, on a phone call, you might have it on your website, frequently asked questions, and address all those pain points. If you can answer those questions for them beforehand, you are going to be in a really strong position with your clients. They're going to trust you. They're going to know that you will communicate with them. And it also demonstrates that you'll communicate when things perhaps don't go right, because you can anticipate that things go wrong and things happen as you have outlined in that list of questions or those pain points you've discussed. And so they start to trust that you won't cover up something if something goes wrong. You won't pretend someone else caused the little scratch on the car when it was you in a car park. You are alleviating their pain points and they feel so much more comfortable with you. So the clients need to trust you and you need to do what you promise, and you need to alleviate their pain points before they happen for these clients. So what does that mean? How do you actually do that? And a lot of it is about the systems that you have in place in your business, and not just creating systems, which I'm good at, and I've spoken about this before, but I'm very good at creating systems, but it's implementing them and following through on those systems that is crucial. So you need to have it inbuilt into your workflow, inbuilt into your work day, that you will review every client that you've got on your books and make sure that you're all up to date. You have a clear way of tracking all the tasks and the status that their tasks are on. So you might use a job management system. You might have an Excel spreadsheet. You might have a notebook. Back in the day, I relied on notebooks 100%. Now I actually use an iPad with notes in it. So it's really just a digital notebook. I do have a job tracking system as well, but keeping my notes on my iPad, they're handwritten. It means that I can quickly take down notes when I'm on a client phone call, and I can go back and address them and send myself an email about them, add them to my task management software, whatever it is. But I need, for me, and I recommend for you, a system where I review that every day or every morning. So don't just go through your emails, review your notes, review your tasks, set aside 10, 15 minutes, even an hour if that's what you need to get up to date every day on where you're at, and then create a list of exactly what you need to do, what emails you need to send, what phone calls you need to make. So have a system in place where you can ensure that you are on top of everything that you need to be doing. And secondly, I want you to start anticipating all the questions that a client might have. So brainstorm all the questions, all the problems, all the hurdles or barriers that clients might have about using you and your service. Brainstorm them all, answer them all, and ideally put them on your website in a frequently asked questions, or create a document that you send out to all new clients with their new inquiries, so that you are addressing those pain points before they happen. And then I want you to take that one step further. So when you are spending the day reviewing where your clients are at and what's happening, as part of that process each day, I want you to take a few minutes to think about if any problems have cropped up with clients. Have there been any issues, any new questions that you haven't heard from clients before, anything that you messed up that next time you want to make sure that you don't mess up. And I want you to put that into that list of questions, add it to those frequently asked questions, and answer those questions for the clients on how you would handle those new problems or those new queries. And then if there's something that you need to do so that you fix those problems that are cropping up, I want you to build that into that daily review system. So I want you to maybe have a set list of questions that you ask yourself every morning or every night before you finish is, where are all my clients at? Review all my clients. What problems and issues have come up? And what issues do I need to solve? What do I need to address? And if you can get into the habit of reviewing those questions and comments, you will start to get so much clearer on your communication with clients. You will start anticipating things before the client even thinks of them. You will spot a problem quickly. You will realize that you've forgotten something well before the client has to remind you, which is the worst, having to have the client remind you that you've forgotten something. Look, it's going to happen. But if you can implement this daily process of review and check, and it doesn't have to take a long time, especially as you get going. You might even have a little template set up for yourself so that you don't even have to remember, what am I supposed to be doing in this review? You go through all your clients, you review any queries and questions that they have, and you address any problems that you need to address. That's it. But if you do that and get that into a habit every day, then you are going to fix your communication problems. You're not going to lose clients because your communication was an issue. And let me tell you, you're going to get those long-term clients like I have, and they are going to love you. So that's the story of what I feel you need to do to keep those clients. But if I had been on top of my client reviews, gone through the list and actually looked at it, it was sitting in my task management system. I just hadn't looked at it and seen that I hadn't sent them through the time. If I had done my daily review properly, this wouldn't have happened, and I would have had an amazing, happy client. And you know what? She was going to get us to do even more than just organize a cleaner. Now she's not. So I wanted to share that story with you just to know that I am right there with you. I'm making mistakes all the time. I'm trying to learn from them. And at the same time, I'm hoping that by sharing what's going on in my world, in my business, that you can learn too. So thanks for listening. I hope that has helped you to learn ways, tips, tricks on how to keep those clients and how to keep them happy. If you've got any other questions of me, please comment below. I am taking all your ideas from all your comments that are coming in, and I have some videos scheduled coming up. But don't forget to go and look back at some past videos. I'll have one popping up on the screen here, and there will be links below to some past videos as well. So until my next video, thank you all. I hope everything is going wonderfully in your business, and I will see you then.